Welcome back to the Weather Crew, everybody. In this update, we are going to be tracking a very large storm system to bring heavy snow, heavy rain, strong winds, warm temperatures potentially reaching to 60 degrees in some areas, and very cold temps. We'll talk about what I mean with very warm temps and then the very cold temps. I know it doesn't make sense, but I'll explain it. Where I do think this storm system has the best potential for a winter storm, a measurable snow, is in this red box. Whoever is in this red box, that is my forecast for this potential winter slash rainstorm. It's gonna be a very interesting system. We still have some uncertainty, and we'll try and squeeze those out by tomorrow, understand the forecast even better than we did tonight. I am planning to record a video very early tomorrow. That is hopefully the plan. About the system, and then a nighttime video, and then a Sunday morning video. I know it's gonna be a lot of out videos coming out, but it's gonna be on a lot of this major storm system that is going to be causing very big problems for many people for your commute on Sunday and Monday. So we're going to actually start out here with the alerts. And yes, you can already tell we have a lot of the Northeast under alerts, and we're going to zoom in that. All right. So so let's start out near Maine first. We're gonna just go down the East Coast. If all right, let me take out that marker. All right. So in that brownish yellowish, you are forecasted. You guys are under high wind watches. All right. Um, for the winds for the high wind watches, if we click here, they have winds, south winds 35 to 45 with gust up to 70. Let me just rephrase that. 70 miles an hour possible, or higher gusts will be on the coast. So those 70s will be along the coast. I am definitely thinking they won't be really inland, but that is very strong winds. That is near hurricane force. So whoever's in those wind watches, expect for some very damaging winds. If you guys are in the flood watches, you guys are be expecting up to 1 to 3 inches. In some of those flood watches, maybe 2 to 4 inches. Just depends where you are. Then you got winter storm watches in Vermont, upstate New York. I do expect these to add on tomorrow, but you guys are expected to get up to 5 to 10 inches with local spots up to 12 to 18 inches, central and north of the Green Mountains, Vermont. So if you guys are in the mountains, expect that foot plus. I wouldn't even rule out 20 inches, what I have been seeing. But everybody under the big flash flood watch. If you guys are in the, this is storm watch. This is for coast. Another high wind watch for Rhode Island and Nantucket. Those are expected to become high wind warnings. They're up to 65 miles an hour possible. Um, let's keep looking. You got coastal flood watches. You even got let me check for New York. I do not know how far they extended those high wind watches, and they actually did for parts of the Long Island area of high wind watches, up to 60 miles an hour. Still very strong winds. But I do expect some wind advisories to get posted. I don't know if they have them up. No, they don't. I don't think they have them up. Expect this to continue to change tomorrow with your wind watches, winter weather alerts. I wouldn't even be surprised. Winter weather advisories get posted. Like, I really wouldn't be surprised nearly the whole Northeast under watches, warnings, advisories. This is one of the flash flood watches in Pennsylvania. They are expecting 2 to 3 inches, locally higher amounts possible. So that it's very big, and it's crazy. Um, Nothing else really with the watches. Yes, a lot of storm watch, like for the coast, gale watches, and hazard weather outlooks. But if you look at the GFS model here, this is one of our global models, and this is into 1 a.m. tonight. You can see that storm system really starting to take place here. North in Canada, there it is, 999 snow back in um Nebraska, or yeah, North Dakota, I mean, and South Dakota. Some heavy snow and strong winds where I just draw the X. There's our potential severe weather coming from the south. There's that front. Um, and this system, it doesn't look like too much, but as I keep going, it will really start adding up. Right? We go into 1 p.m. tomorrow, and this is when the system really starts showing its true self. Not really its strongest self, but starting to, intensify more. We had 995 right here in the Great Lakes, some back end snow still, but you got the thunderstorms and that cold front really starting to take place. And yes, it looks like, yeah, this is just gonna be a casual cold front that goes by, drops the temperatures, maybe rise in the beginning and then drop behind it. But this one, it's a little different. You tell we go from 995 to a 992, starting to intensify. You could tell with the darker blues here, and the isobars very close. You could tell precip starts adding 992. That's already, getting near that's already in the sub thousands. Um, so let's just keep going with that. We're gonna go to 1 a.m. on. Wait, let me just make sure I got this right. So this is about 7 a.m. on Sunday morning. And yes, our cold front is all this. Main low up in Canada. There's all the precip coming from the Gulf and the Mid Atlantic. Then, if you look, we're going to take it out just a bit more. You tell the yellows, oranges, heavier rains. And yes, it doesn't look like too much snow, but this is the GFS has been jumping back and forth, and I'm actually gonna show that if I could in this video. You can tell snow back in Tennessee mountains, but there it is. Snow potentially getting up to down to South Carolina mountains. It's very crazy. Very interesting system. You tell a lot of rain, but this run was a little bit more different, but still in the general idea. It actually looks more like a nor'easter than a actual cold front. Right now you can tell it's going up the East Coast. Very heavy rain, strong thunderstorms. Um but there is the snow. And you can tell in the back here of that snow. And I really would be watching out for tomorrow's video in the morning, because this GFS could look completely different. You tell snow actually makes it all the way down to the like New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania. But it was more aggressive on some other runs: Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. But this really becomes a very strong nor'easter in the way it looks. This becomes a full blown nor'easter, 986. Last run, yes, a lot more stronger, but this is only one run. We'll look at tomorrow's runs on the GFS. It's only one model too. And GFS is very known to be jumping all over the place. That's why I do agree with the GFS sometimes, but sometimes you have to just GFS jumps way too much to lock your answer of how much snow, how much rain, what's the winds going to be like. Like the GFS hasn't been lock solid in the last few years. But there it is. The storm system continues to move out 976. Very strong nor'easter now. So this becomes like a nor'easter. And let's just take a look at the winds. The winds on this. Not too much winds. You don't get the winds until later, and those winds up to like 40, like 30 knots. That's about 40, 50 mile an hour winds. Some other models are better. I rather use the winds on like the Neo model. We're probably gonna use that on today's video. I mean, um, let's go with total snow. Yeah, total snowfall. Let's just go out and you can tell. Yeah, not too much. You're only looking. This is the whole storm system. 1 to 3 inches in Pennsylvania, 2 to 4 in upstate New York, but your bigger totals are up in Vermont, and Maine, where you could be seeing a foot to maybe 2 feet of snow. You can tell in that green up there. But GFS, I guarantee you, it's going to change by next run because we're actually going to go back about a few runs, but quickly because I don't want to spend the whole video on the GFS. Let's just go back to the 12Z. And I'm telling you this difference yeah, you can already tell. We had a much stronger system. Let's just go see. The new run, you can tell this is the comparing of the runs. Yeah, look at that. From last run to this run, you know, yeah, this run, see, more like slanted. So we have to see um with the trends, but you can tell this was the last run too. Um The temperatures. That's another big thing. Temperatures, they will drop pretty dramatically. You see those 50s closing in on 60, but look at behind. These temperatures are going to drop. And in a lot of these areas, going to be dropping below freezing. So all that rain, that 1 to 3, 2 to 4 in spots, that could potentially turn into some black ice. And you have to be very careful on that. That's another huge thing that I feel like people really haven't talked about with the system is the temperature change. It's not going to be the most dramatic temperature change, like it's going to go to 0 degrees, but it's going to be enough that whatever is left over water, it's going to freeze up. So be mindful of that. So we're going to actually go on. We're going to go check on the Euro model. The Euro model, I will admit, has been doing a pretty good job. And in my opinion, I will go with the European on this because European is been locked in way more than the GFS. And this is like every time I feel we always have this, many weather people had this discussion if the GFS is really a good model. In my opinion, the Euro is better, but sometimes Euro can make mistakes. But the GFS makes more of the mistakes in that battle, I will admit. So we're actually just going to look at the Northeast. You can tell, once again, very heavy rain here on the model. We continue, and yes, this is what I'm talking about. I would more call this of a nor'easter if this continues to trend. Maybe tomorrow I'll call this a nor'easter more because you get a low to go up the Atlantic coast. You got the winds, not really strong on the 12Z. 18Z is out. We'll try and look at that, but look at the snow. Very heavy snow in eastern PA. This is what I'm talking about that you need to watch. This is the Euro, very aggressive on the snow than the GFS. GFS a few days ago was way more aggressive on the snow than the Euro. So they kind of flip-flopped, but the Euro's been, I say, more solid. But you can tell there's that storm system and then it goes but let's go with, oh shoot. Wait. Oh, all right. I was just checking to see. I thought we could do the 18Z. My bad. But we're gonna go to the 0Z now and compare it. Um, you tell yes, heavy rain, but there it is once again. Very similar. At least the Euro's not jumping like the GFS. The Euro's more consistent. And that is what I look for forecasting. And the Euro's very good with that, with the forecasting. I can trust the Euro more than the GFS, to be honest with you. Let me just go get the weather. I need this for the NAM and stuff. Um, let's go look at the NAM model. Actually, it's a brand new run out too. I really don't know what the run looks like. So we're about to discover this together here. What does the 0Z show us? NAM's been on the Euro side in this. I'm not even gonna lie with you. But there's the NAM. Yeah, heavy rain, and there it is. I'm locking in with the NAM. I'm locking in with the Euro and NAM. The NAM, since it started on the system, has been same thing. We go back 18Z, very similar. You guys like compare the 18Z 0Z, very similar. We go back to the 12Z, very similar. The 6Z, similar. The NAM model's been very consistent on that Euro solution. And that is what I'm talking about. I'm telling you right now, I really think the NAM is going to end up being right. But look at that snow, by the way. For Washington, D.C., like, this is a huge storm system. Like, I know you see a lot of that rain, but look at the snow side of things. Like, this is a huge snowstorm, very strong winds, and to me, this looks more like a nor'easter. Does it? You know, you get a low forming, like, right here, and it rides up the East Coast. I mean, that's what you call a nor'easter, right? You got the strong winds. Um, we can use. Let me just look at it on here. The NAM. Um, yeah, look at that. Very, very different. I mean, look at that. And the thing is, the NAM. Yes, it moves around, but it's not as bad as the GFS, and Euro is really good too. You know what I mean? And very strong, 993. I mean, you got strong winds near 50 miles an hour. I mean, on both sides. I mean, Eastern Coast maybe up to 60, but on the other side 40, 30, 40, maybe reaching 50 in the mountains. But your total snowfall with that NAM, let me pop that up here. There's the NAM. I mean, maybe this is a little too aggressive, but like they have up to 6 to 10 inches across central PA and eastern PA, seeing 1 to 3, but very sharp cutoff. But if you go in the Poconos or just east of Allentown, you're looking up to 3 to 5 inches. It's very crazy compared to the Euro. And the Euro, we can actually look at the Euros. Yes, we can. Great. We compare the 12Z Euro. This is the snowfall for the 12Z, by the way. Up to 2 to 3 inches across many areas of PA. Scranton seeing up to 5 inches. Northern New York up to 10 to 12 inches. But look at the consistency. We go to 12Z, 18Z. Do you guys tell me? Do you guys see a difference? Like, look at look. I'm clicking 12Z right there. 18Z, very similar. And this is what I look for: consistency. The NAM and the Euro has consistency. The GFS, you go with the snowfall. I mean, you're looking. Look, 12Z. Like it doesn't look even close. 6Z, like 0Z. It's, I don't know. I don't like it. 0Z is actually coming out with the GFS. That's really crazy. I did not know that. But keep an eye on this. This is a very large storm. This is the R gem, and this is another model we use. Heavy rain, but you see that snow in the bag better than what the GFS is forecasting on the 18Z. And Icon too. Icon, very heavy rain though. That scares me. That has like very heavy rain. But you get that back end snow. You got the strong winds. I mean, this is going to be a very large damaging system for many. Um, we'll have another update tomorrow, but you look at the snowfall. I mean, if it's iffy. Tomorrow will be way better, more locked in with the snowfall. But I'm trending with the Euro and NAM model, and that's why in my box it looks exactly like it. And let's start actually comparing the NAM and the Euro. Yeah, you can already tell. The GFS is going back to the other run from before, so it's going to be more snowy. Just watch. Um, Here's the accurate weather's forecast on this. Um, they have that. They might move this tomorrow more towards the coast. Very windy. I agree with that. Rain to snow. Yes. Snowfall. I can agree with it for now. The winds, though, there it is, 40 to 50 in the lightest shade. They do that 1670 is there along the coast. 60, 70 potential to 85. Many areas, though, like even New Jersey, seeing 50 to 60 miles an hour winds. But localized wind damage. And a big thing is the heavy rain, getting that in short amount of time, and then the freeze up and the snow. It's going to be a really interesting storm. How this is all going to play out, and I'm going to be watching the radar as this storm plays out because I'm telling you, it's going to be very interesting. Let's go new GFS. Very interesting. How much rainfall? Like I said, 2 to 4 inches. Um, I think the Icon's gonna go. Yeah, Icon has that 4 to 6 potentially. I don't think it's gonna be that much, but be careful. You never know that. You never know with that. But let's go back to Nam and let's just look at rainfall. I mean, rainfall there too, up to 3 inches. So it's gonna be a heavy rainfall event. It's gonna be a snow event, wind event, uh, spring event, and winter. You're gonna have all the seasons in this storm. But let's see, GFS fully out yet? Nope. Um, Let me zoom into that. Eastern PA. Sorry about that. But once again, this is what I'm saying. Keep an eye out for changes. One thing I'll say, Euro has been impressive with the storm. I'm really trending with the Euro right now because it's very consistent. GFS is less consistent. And when the Euro is really consistent and I go against it, it's always right. So this is a mesoscale model that actually goes out. This is the FV3 high res. And it has a very similar scenario here, up the East Coast and then back in snow, but heavy rain too. I mean, that's another model that backs up Euro and NAM. Um, the NAM 3 cam, does it go up? Oh, shoot. Wow. Look at the NAM. Heavy rainfall, but look at that transition. So yes, this is going to start out with rain. for everybody. But once you start seeing that snow, it's gonna quickly take in. And so far with this year with snow events, they have been more impressive than the models thought. And the small snow systems that we had a few days ago, the models were really not picking up on it, and it did better than it was expecting with the models. And a thing in the last few years with the models compared to the when it comes to storm, the temperature drops quicker than the model says, and that snow transition happens quicker. And I do think that's possible. But look at this storm. This is going to be a very large storm, a storm where you have to be serious on. And there is that GFS, exactly what I was saying. Way more aggressive, right? You got that preset more in there. And look, you now got a coastal low developing all the way down here. This is why I'm saying really be careful. This is going to be a very large storm. 999 scares me right there because, yikes. And that, if that storm develops down here at a 999 and goes up the East Coast, this is going to honestly become a nor'easter. Maybe I'll name tomorrow's video that, but I'm trying to wait for the GFS to fully come out. Um, I'm not trying to waste too much time here. Let's see if the GFS is out more on this. I don't want to waste your time because I know people got lives. Oh wow, the snowfall just insane. Wow, wow, the GFS goes full trend with the euro. Wow, look at that. That's crazy. The trend, it's crazy. Now the GFS is agreeing with the models. This is why I'm saying, please, please watch out. That's really crazy. I'm waiting on the GFS. Yep, 60 hours out. Boom, 994. That is a nor'easter to me. That is a full blown nor'easter now. And that's honestly been the trend with the models. Look at that. Boom. Last run to this run. Much more aggressive in the snow, too. And the wind. So, that's pretty much going to wrap it up in this video. I hope you guys understand a bit more about the storm. And please be careful. This is going to keep changing, but as what I see tonight, things are starting to lock down, and expect this to be a very large storm. Tomorrow, take your preps, generators, batteries, water, canned goods. Just make sure you're prepared because this system can overpress itself and do way better than expected. But this is a very large storm for December, and it's going to be a very curious one. But that's all I have with you. Have a good night. See you in tomorrow's video. Bye, Weather Crew.